YouTube? This is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the HGUC, or High Grade Universal Sentry, Guncannon Revive. Now this is the Revive version, not the old version. Now I'm pretty sure you're wondering why I suddenly reviewing the Guncannon Revive. Is that a few days ago, the robot Damashii Guncannon for anime figure has arrived. And in order to do a more, convincing or proper review, I thought I had to review the Guncannon Revive first, so I can do a more proper comparison compared to the, figure and Gunpla kit. So that's why I'm pretty much reviewing this right now. And I'm also filming this in advance, so I might have some, time factor wrong, but keep that in mind. Anyway, let's get on to the review. Now, first of all, this is the Revive kit. And fun fact is that the first HGUC to come out of the line was the Guncannon, and the Guncannon Revive was also the first Revive kit to come out, so that was a pretty good, follow-up. Alright, so as usual, we're going to go with the components, articulation, and whatnots. So first of all, what you get, of course, is the Mobile Suit Guncannon itself. And then hand-wise, you get 2 open hands and 2 multi-purpose hands for left and right, and a beam rifle. However, you do not get a trigger finger, so you're going to use the multi-purpose hand for the beam rifle. And despite not having the hole and peg system inside the hand, it holds the beam rifle very firmly. Other than that, we get 1 leftover polycap for the neck joint, because this one does not use a polycap neck joint, so it actually uses a plastic one. So that's 1 leftover. And then there are no stickers for this kit, but we do get some sticker decals. For multiple numbers, for depending on which pilot or which version you want to go for. So we have 108, 109, and 203 in 2 sizes. Alright, now let's get on to the review. So, I believe this is a very big step up compared to the old one, because if I remember correctly, the old one didn't even have clear visors. It actually came with stickers for the visors and obviously limited articulation and different proportions. So let's get on to the review. So we're going to start with the head. As I mentioned, the visor is a clear green, and behind that is all white piece, same color as the head piece, and that red piece is a separate piece on the forehead obviously, and the antennas, they are also separate pieces. They're a single separate piece, they're not like individual antennas. So the head articulation is pretty good. You can go down that much, and then up that much, and then a 360 twist. Well, you're gonna have to work your way through, because it's not gonna work with those cannons on its shoulders or right next to the head. Speaking of cannons, let's talk about the articulation regarding the cannons. Now, I have reviewed the Origins version, but that was a long time ago, and that was like before I got my mojo in getting into reviews. But the cannons, they don't actually rotate left and right. They only go up and down. So forward and then up. So that's about a 90-degree angle for articulation for the cannons. So that's pretty much it. And now let's get the backpack. The backpack, very simple looking backpack, but also looks pretty efficient. Back skirt does not move. There's nothing to store on the back skirt as well. Now let's get the arms. The arms are on ball joints, so they have this forward and backward movement. And then we have a 90-degree, almost 90-degree bend to the side, and you have your typical 360 twist on the arm as well. And since the arm itself is on a ball joint, you can rotate the arm 360, and you have a double jointed bend. Very nice as well, and your hands are a typical ball jointed hand. Let's look at the body. The chest vents, these yellow pieces are all separate pieces that goes inside, and being a Revive kit, they did a pretty good job on this ab crunch sort of thing. Of course, this is like one of the kind of like this the way how the Gym Ground type, the Gym Ground type HGUC works, where there's like a small ball joint or the connection on the front sort of way, but in a different way. This is the first one, so but still it works very well. And then a 360 twist on the body, not possible, because there's multiple stuff blocking its way. the waist section, as I mentioned, that yellow piece is a separate piece, and then the side skirt doesn't move that much. The front skirt, they come in a single piece, but if you want to do so, you can just separate them because they're on the, the two ball joints connected. Back skirt doesn't move as mentioned. So that's pretty much it for the waist. The legs, now we have a nice side swell going on here, and because of that, we can go, oh well, sort of 90 degrees is like almost, but there's like the back skirt, and then the chunkiness is kind of blocking the way. But the leg can go for 90 degrees and has a nice double jointed bend and big feet. Those are very good. Big feet with ball jointed feet, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it for articulation. Now, I would like to mention the kit does not provide any grenade pieces, because I believe like the gun cannon is able to store grenades inside this area of the leg section, but this obviously this part doesn't open. The masquerade actually does open, so that, which is why they do provide a small grenade piece. But so yeah, that's like one of the small factors that's the HGUC is lacking, but no big deal since it is an HG kit. Now let's get the weapon other than the cannons, which is the beam rifle. Very nice, simple build. Snap two pieces together and then add on the small details. That yellow piece is also a separate piece, and the scope can move like this to the side for more better aiming for the pilot and whatnot. Of course, this is as far as it goes, and I believe the masquerade version also had this, and I heard, if I remember correctly, I heard the old HGUC version also sorry about that, also had this feature. Well, once again, it's a pretty simple connection, and there you go. You have your beam rifle connection. The open hands are obviously for other poses, but mostly for the classic pose where the gun cannon is, on the ground and then trying to fire like in this kind of way. I'm not good at posing, so I'm not gonna demonstrate that. So yeah. Once again, the kit is very simple, and this would be definitely a very good kit for beginners or starters, if, of course, if that person is into the design. Because the gun cannon, as for me, it took me a good amount of time to get used to the design and appreciate the design. Because, of course, when I first got into Gundam, my first impression regarding this was like, what the heck is that? I mean, it doesn't look cool at all. But now, after a few years in the hobby, getting into like grunt suits, mass production types, and gyms, and etc. I definitely love the gun cannon now. I really love its looks, and I'm really glad we're getting a good amount of, like, we got a robot Damashii, we got a HGUC Revive. Of course, I would love to see a real grade or a Master Grade 2.0 version of it, but that would be in the really, really far future. But for now, this HGUC Revive kit is definitely a good start, and definitely a good collector's item, or definitely good for your collection if you're really into Federation mobile suits. Of course, it's also one of the unique Federation mobile suits where it's like red. Now, usually Federation mobile suits, we would usually see them like that would have a lot of white in them, sometimes with gray, blue, but not entirely red like this is. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the HGUC Guncannon Revive. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time!